Dylan from Evolution Australia. Today I'm going to be showing you the process of how to remove an instrument binnacle from a Nissan LEAF ZE1. The tools that we'll be using today are a 10mm ring spanner, a plastic bone tool, commonly known as a trim removal tool, and a No. 2 Phillips screwdriver. Let's get started. First thing we're going to want to do is take our plastic trim removal tool and insert it along the top ridge of this side panel here. Will do. Pry gently, releasing the clips down the length of the panel. Now this is only soft plastic, so there's no need to pry too hard. We'll set that aside for reassembly later. On removal of the side trim panel, what we'll want to do is take your hands or your trim removal tool and remove the front right air conditioning vent. This vent comes away with a little bit of force, being careful not to pull the fascia panel away from the vent, because these two can come apart very easily. Now what you notice here is that this panel here has come away a little bit. What you want to do is look inside of there, making sure that these clips here are sitting underneath, and press them back into place. From here, what we want to do is to pull up on this top here demister panel to remove this part next. Then from here, we'll want to lower the steering wheel into the lowest section to give us more room to move and work near the instrument binnacle. Upon doing so, what we'll do is you take your hands and you'll pull gently forwards towards you on the shroud that surrounds the binnacle. Now from here, there's a connector that sits just behind the trip meter buttons. Be careful because that lead is not very long. So what you want to do is come and have a look in here. It's the same connector that runs on the top of the hazard light switch. What you want to do is get in there and just undo that connector. In order to release this connector, you can take your plastic trim removal tool and place it on the right hand side of the connector where the little release tab is. Simple as that. And pause that. The next step before removing the surround for the instrument binnacle is to take our plastic bone tool and remove the side panel that covers the fuse assembly. Then we'll take our No. 2 Phillips and remove the screw in the top side corner. Then, to remove the top left air conditioning vent, we simply pry out from the side until we hear it click. Then, with our No. 2 Phillips, we remove the Phillips in the top left corner. Making sure that this doesn't fall into the dash. Then, with the 2 Phillips screws removed, we place our hands underneath this top dash section here, pulling up gently. Working our way along the dashboard piece so that it all releases in one go. Having a look here at the middle of the top air conditioning vents, we can see that there is a connector which goes to our hazard light switch. We remove that and set that aside for later. Now we can move back to the other side and remove the shroud. In order to remove the shroud surrounding the instrument binnacle, we're going to need to remove the connector that sits behind this switch pack here first. In order to do so, what we'll do is we'll pry up gently, give us a little bit of extra working space. Once we've done this, we will take the fine edge of our plastic tool and use it to push against the side of the connector, releasing it from the switch. After pulling the release on the underside of the dash, we'll come to the bonnet, roughly about in the middle, and there is a tab that you'll want to press up. It's quite often for LEAF owners to not know where this is, because it's not often that you need to change your engine oil on these vehicles. Using the stay provided, we'll turn our attention to the factory supplied 12-volt battery. Using our 10mm ring spanner, we'll release the terminal. These can sometimes be a little bit sticky. It's as simple as that. Setting that aside in a place where it won't come back and touch that terminal. With the negative terminal on the battery removed, we can now begin removing the binnacle from the vehicle. We'll take our number 2 Phillips screwdriver and we'll begin with the upmost Phillips screw that affixes the binnacle to the dash. After the first, there is one on the lower right and the lower left of the binnacle holding it in position.
Making sure that these don't fall into the dash.
With the 3 screws removed, we can now pull from the lower section of the binnacle rotating it around, which then gives us access to the connectors on the top of the unit. Pressing on the tabs located at the top, we can remove the binnacle from the car. That's it. Now, if sending this unit to us, make sure that it's packaged up very well, because the plastic on these units is a little bit fragile, so the safer it gets to us, the better. Great.